Well. We've come to the end of part two of the Chasing Atlanta reunion, and these are just my immediate thoughts in the wake of just watching the reunion. First of all, shout out to Dominique Morgan, who was the host for the first two parts. Y'all know that's my sister. I love her down. Shout out to you for holding it down, doing a great job hosting and corralling the girls. And I love you, and I'll see you soon. Okay. My immediate thoughts. Y'all know, if y'all have been following me on YouTube and I've been reviewing this season, this was a horrible season for Nova. There's just no getting around it. She did not portray herself in the best light. And also, Mama just didn't have a chase. But what more do y'all want from Nova when it comes to retribution for Althea in that storyline? What more do y'all want from her? Like, the girl is embarrassed. She was crying on the reunion, and not that her tears absolves her or anything, but Mama is embarrassed. Colorist has been used to describe her. Somebody that hates Black women that has been used to describe her. Like, she has been embarrassed for her actions for her season. And as I was watching the reunion in real time and watching the comments and people saying, oh, Nova wasn't held to task and Nova was being coddled, I don't think it was about being coddled. I think for a lot of the people, especially first-time viewers to any reunion, but a reality show reunion, we needed to get exposition of what Nova's state of mind was when she did stuff, and is there a difference between how she felt when the situation happened on tape and the reunion now? And I felt like Dominique did her job and we got exposition. Would we have liked her to apologize directly to Althea for taking it too far? That would have been nice, but it didn't happen. It did not happen. She apologized to Black women. It was the heat of the moment. She regretted what she said about her hating fish and hating all Black women. And she was crying, and she's embarrassed on the show at the reunion. Like, what more do y'all want? I really need to. There is a world where we want to see Nova get what's coming to her, but also there's a world that because she is trans, that y'all just want to punish her just to no end. And that's what it feels like. And I can say that because, no shade, that's kind of what y'all are doing to Dominique. Because y'all are also dragging Dominique in the comments as well. And we all know what Dominique is going through, but some of the comments just went too far. And we have to entertain, or y'all have to entertain the idea that it's some transphobia mixed up in that, in the ways that y'all want to punish her. And like, let's be for real. Y'all think that specifically Black and Latin Latina trans women, y'all think you literally have somebody in the beginning stages of their transition. We are all messy at those stages. We are, at least, let me speak for myself. I was a pick-me. I was into my looks and having long hair and feeling like I was better than people and saying all types of problematic things. That's how the girls are when you meet girls at their first stages of their evolution. They're going to be problematic, and even though we might not want to give grace to Nova, these are what the girls give. All of the girls on the Gladiator, Zoo shows that be fight, the dollhouses and stuff, a lot of those girls have the same mindset as Nova. But y'all live for those shows, but y'all can't. It's not even about giving Nova grace. It's about humanizing trans people, particularly Black trans women and Latina trans women, to see her for where she is and to be offended, but to not feel like we have to dispose of her. And I have been peeping the way that some of y'all have been talking about this lady, and it's problematic. So I need y'all to check that. So that takes me to my last point. Y'all know I still rock with Althea. She's sitting in this picture. I love her. I'm going to say this, and I really don't give a fuck how nobody feels about this. At the end of the day, yes, cis people are in the orbit and they're in relation to black queer people. But at the end of the day, Chasing Atlanta is a black queer show. So it's a black queer show. You have to come into the show, and this isn't just for Althea. This is for anybody. You have to come into the show with the awareness that you're coming into black gay culture and black gay norms. So yes, people could have did more to stand up for Althea, but at the end of the day, she's a guest in the community. Even though Althea is a cast member on the show, she's a guest. She's a guest in this community, and she even admitted in the show she had relationship with certain gay people, but she wasn't familiar with the show and she wasn't familiar with gay culture. So I think it's unrealistic when we had the fish conversation for cis het folks to come into black queer space and police our language. I think that's really unrealistic to do that. And also, y'all don't change when it comes to the sororities and y'all want to kick in trans women out and real women have to be women at birth. Y'all don't make any exceptions for trans people to be in y'all orgs because that's y'all thing with y'all histories. So I think it's unfair to then come into black queer spaces and expect all of this treatment. I can understand on a one-on-one level. I don't want to be referred to as fish. That's fine. But that don't mean that the community is going to stop saying that word. And that does not mean that black queer people are not going to stop using that word for each other. Because I use fish all day and I'm just not changing it. So I just think I can have sensitivity for Althea, but at the end of the day, you signed up to be in this particular space, in this particular culture, and you either gonna have to rock and roll, or you're gonna have to sit out, which is what she did the back half of the season. I think had she would have shown up, they could have worked through a lot of that, but because she was away, and she could have been feeling a rainbow of ways, she really wasn't able to show up to really build that community and build that camaraderie. But I think it's unrealistic for cishet people to come into black queer spaces and then try to police language and then get mad and tell us how we are supposed to speak to each other when we have historically been speaking to each other like that. So these are my just initial top line thoughts. I'm going to do a longer form review on my YouTube channel tomorrow. So if you want to support, please support that. But these are my top line thoughts. I'm looking forward to part 3 of the reunion. Shout out to you, Dario. This will be the first time that you're hosting, so I really want to see you hold court and get the girls together. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, these are just my top lines. Nova was wrong as hell, but Nova is a young trans girl, and young trans girls have to have the ability to be messy and to grow from it. And the girl was embarrassed. She was embarrassed. I know she was embarrassed. But a lot of this critique and condemnation is some transphobia up in there. And I just need the new cis fans and viewers to really check that, especially if you're coming into black queer spaces. And that's all that I have to say. Love the show, love the platform, and I'll see y'all soon for the more longer form review.